Hunter Lee. I went to the dialogue titled Colors of the Wind, a dialogue on interracial dating. Um, I would say that our dialogue was very successful, and in saying that, I mean that our dialogue included everyone in the room. At first, everyone in the dialogue felt sort of awkward. However, our dialogue leaders were very friendly, and by the end of the dialogue, everyone was somewhat involved in the discussion. Of course, there were a few people that didn't care to say that much. Um, Sometimes I found myself reserved at certain times during our discussion of interracial dating, but that's because a lot of the situations we discussed never really related to me because I've never been in an interracial dating situation. But I did enjoy listening to everyone else. Um, I did find myself taking part in discussion when we talked about subjects that I could relate to. I tried to be very open with everyone in the group, and I felt very comfortable talking with all the people in the room. Um, I found the icebreaker that we started the dialogue off with. It was pretty fun. It was very interesting, and we started the dialogue by getting into pairs, and we introduced ourselves to our partner, um, telling our partner our name, our major, and a song that we wanted to listen to at that moment. Then everyone in the dialogue sat in a circle, and each partner would introduce his or her partner to the rest of the dialogue group, which was sort of funny because a lot of people are embarrassed by the songs that they had chosen, and it sort of opened the atmosphere for discussion. People are more comfortable with the people in the room. Um, so we then began to talk about the issues that surrounded interracial dating. We started by watching a MTV show called What Would You Do? The show sort of showed the ignorance that people who are against interracial dating carry. We then proceeded to watch a scene from Pocahontas. This was pretty relevant because Pocahontas, who was an American Indian girl, was in a relationship with John Smith, an English white male. The scene that we watched corresponded with the name of our dialogue because during that scene, Pocahontas sang Colors of the Wind, where she sort of spoke a message that sort of said that you can't judge people just because they're different from you, which is sort of a major tendency when dealing with racism. Our group was then asked if we had any experience in interracial dating. This is the part of the dialogue that I was more reserved, like I said. It was interesting hearing about some of the people that had been in interracial relationships, though. I had never really been through some of the same conflicts that those people had had in my group. Some of the members of the dialogue told us how their parents were super strict and how they were very against their interracial relationships. It wasn't nearly as awkward as I thought it was going to be. I mean, in fact, it wasn't very awkward at all. Our group was very open, and before making any discussion, we all agreed to a sort of dialogue contract. The dialogue contract made us aware that we should use statements such as "I think" statements rather than "you" statements so that nobody would be offended and that our dialogue would run smoothly, which it did. At one point in our dialogue, my group discussed why sometimes people of different races have their own tables at Shaletter, why black people sometimes have their own tables, and why white people are sort of, you can tell that like the races are sort of segregated a little bit. I mean, there is a little intermingling, but there was a lot of separation we noticed. And we all came to the conclusion that it's not because that there are a lot of racist people on Clemson's campus or anything like that, but it's often because races are often attracted to their own selves. Even our dialogue leader admitted that she loves hanging out with people that look like her and that she could relate to. With that being said, we also realized that we all had friends of every race, and that what determines who we hang out with was not the color of their skin, but whether or not we have a lot of fun when we're around them. If they're cool people, those are the people that are our friends, and those are the people who we would date, or anything for that matter. I think the dialogue was a very good part of CU1000. I think that they included that component to work on people's discussion skills and to show people that they can be open to talk about things with anyone. It was an overall good experience for me, and I feel like it helped me relate with interracial dating, and I felt very comfortable with the group leaders, and it was a good way to interact with my fellow alumni, and it was a good dialogue overall. Thank you. Yeah, boy.